Hello, I'm Ryan McEachran, and welcome to The Dig. When working on machines, the lockout-tagout process is one of the first things that comes to mind. It is a highly procedural process that is very susceptible to human error, and when it comes to power, it is highly dangerous and sometimes fatal. Even the procedure of locking out can create what they call arc flashes, and anyone who has seen the videos knows it is a horrific scene. But what if you could remove people from this process and safely lock out equipment with confidence? Well, SafeBox has developed such a solution, and here with us now, we have Gabriel Janakaraj to help dig into the SafeBox technology. Hi, Gabe. Welcome back to The Dig. I remember you on the very first episode, so glad to have you back.
Thank you, Ryan.
So tell us a little, great. Tell us a little bit about SafeBox.
SafeBox is basically a startup company that's been initiated by the Ionic Group around 5.5 years ago. I think close to 6 years now. They've been developing a product which is a two-part system. It's an energy isolating device and a lockout device. And come this year, 2019, I came on board to kind of lead up all the business development activities in order to create its own company, its own spin-off. And it's been growing great. It's been penetrating the market well. There's obviously a bit of hesitation on new technology in the heavy industry, but just the impressive business cases and the increased safety and productivity that our clients are seeing, it's unreal.
And what got Ionic into this? What drove them to want to develop SafeBox?
So Ionic's been in the mechatronics game for, I think, over 25 years now. And what they deal is a lot of electrical, mechanical, and robotic systems. And then dealing with all these, dealing with cross industries such as, mining, oil and gas, aggregate, steel, etc. We found there's a common repeated industrial activity, which is your lockout tagout. So rather than just, when we want to lock out a motor or do some work on a machine, it's not as simple as switching off like a light switch. There's a procedural task that involves maybe numerous people, and it's also time consuming. So what our system does, it actually still does the mechanical and physical isolation at the motors, but rather than going and locking out each individual point, we have a single lockout station in which it verifies that everything's been isolated, bled out, and then we have a locking bar mechanism that actually you can apply your physical padlock to.
Okay, and this is something that's one of it's a common safety issue on a lot of projects. In fact, I believe it's one of the top 10 of OSHA. Is it?
Yes, that's correct. It's actually been the top 10 violated. It's actually been one of the top 10 risks associated with any heavy industry for the last 20 years. It's, I think, number 4 or 5 on the citation tally. And like I said, it's been like that for close to 20 years now.
Wow. And you were saying, the safety aspect, it seems to be really, you've really improved the safety aspect of this lockout procedure. But the time, it seems, is huge in terms of savings. So there must be a real business case to how how you can save a company money as well.
Oh, that's exactly it. It is very time consuming, and that's because you have multiple people going around across your plant or across your site. And we have sites as small as maybe 300-meter radius plants, and some that are tens of 20 kilometers long conveyor systems that you have to complete this lockout. So you can just imagine the time traveling to a conveyor system that's 11 kilometers long and climbing up flights of stairs and throughout that system and performing a lockout to change out a motor or do some maintenance or repairs. And what we've seen also as part of that business study is the maintenance and repairs may be only a fraction of the whole time required on your downtime, and your lockout and tagout process may take up to 50% of that downtime. So we can bring that downtime, if we can minimize by 50% with our system, then we have more time to either increase your throughput, your production, or even focus more on maintaining the equipment.
Wow. So the return on investment must be very quick.
Yes. Every study we've done has all been under a year, and I haven't seen anything over yet. So it is an impressive business case for our system.
Wow. So when you're introducing this technology and solution to companies, they almost must seem it must be, they must almost think it's too good to be true. How are they receptive in terms of the technology? It sounds like you're certainly getting some wins, but there must be some barriers there as well.
Yeah, I think with any new technology in our kind of industry, it's hard, right? Luckily, in the last few years, I know a lot of people are digitalizing. They want to go to the industry, 4.0, 5.0. They really want to increase productivity and safety, and that's where we have the better or better adopt, not a better adoption. You can see people are more open to hearing about what we have to offer. So it's been good that way. But again, we are disrupting a process. This lock and tag process, it's been done the same way for close to 100 years now, and now I have to go in and tell, hey, rather than doing it this method, you can use my method. So there's a bit of hesitation. Yeah, some people do think it's too good to be true, but a lot of my focus has been educating individuals and operations on exactly how our system works. I think that's kind of been key before implementation.
And I think, something that can make your job feel safer. Everyone knows the risks involved in these procedures, so I think they must really appreciate the fact that you've increased their safety. And it sounds like you can also, this is a modular solution, so that scalability is almost unlimited.
Exactly. A lot of our clients now are looking to pilot it. It is, like I said, it is new tech. So they're looking to pilot it in maybe a plant setting or one conveyor system, just to have the people use the system to build its awareness on site on what it's meant to do. And I think then from there, once that's done, they'll start spreading it over and over to other facilities or other applications. And the applications for our system is endless. I've seen conveyors, sag mills, loading pockets, you name it, that requires a lockout tagout process. Our system can be a good substitute.
Right. And well, underground mines especially, there's just substation after substation, so I can imagine the efficiencies that are brought onto this. So what's next in terms of this solution? As you mentioned, with new technology, once you be comfortable with applying it to the solution you focused on, then you start to kind of look at what else can we do. But where are you taking this technology?
So with lock and tag, obviously there's that tag involved, and with people digitalizing forms, that's something we see on the roadmap, is maybe having more access on or having more access management tools. So people have requested us to put in an RFID. People have requested an RFID type tool to give access to somebody using our system. And what's great with that is, because, like you mentioned, it is modular and scalable. If you have 400 or 600 of these field isolation devices, maybe you want to give a contractor a certain zone that they have access to lockout. Now we can easily program that in, and especially with people who have training on their employee card. Now we can tie that in and say, okay, are they trained and authorized to use our system? Another thing on our roadmap is a wireless integration. So we will be exploring like a 5G or LTE type setup with our system, and that's just for the requests we've been getting for conveyor systems that are in the 10+ kilometer range.
Right. So once you get to that point, it's the cost savings and time just must be massive.
Correct.
Yeah. So, well, that sounds really, really exciting. Really exciting. I'm really glad that we could have you back on the show. And we'll look forward to hearing more about where SafeBox is moving in the near future. Thanks a lot, Gabe.
Thank you, Ryan.
And thanks for joining us on The Dig. Stephanie couldn't be with us this week, but she wanted to share some important information with you. Next year is going to be the 25th Silver Edition of MSTA Canada's Compendium. It's an excellent way for your company to get in front of the decision makers and buyers of this mining industry. If you want more information to understand how to participate, contact Collins at mstacanada.ca. Until next time, I'm Ryan McEachran. Take care and stay safe.